Well, big problems for people at a Pigeon Forge resort. Visitors staying in some of the cabins there found themselves stuck for a while due to a mudslide. Pigeon Forge Police Department tells us they believe the slide was caused by a water line break. Now, that slide happening around 6 this morning at the Ridgetop Resort off Ridge Road. We're told the water has been turned off. Through the day, we watched crews working to try to clear the area. Despite it happening directly outside their cabin, though, Catherine Wright said her family didn't know about the mudslide until they, well, looked outside.
I thought she was joking at first because I want to get home for my birthday. But then I came out here and I was like, oh my goodness, you got to be joking. But obviously wasn't a joke because look at it out there.
Fortunately, we're all safe and sound. You know, we've got everything to take care of ourselves. I call it making memories. Good, bad, and ugly, I guess. But that's kind of where we're at. Just waiting to see what's going to happen. And like I said, water being turned on is the key, whether we go home today or whether we stay another day or two.
You know, cleanup crews tell us while there has been progress made since this morning, it could take into the night or even several days to get everything cleared. Next on the 7 for you, it has been it's been a while since a storm spawned an EF0 tornado in Loudoun County. It's been about a week, actually. You know, we sent a crew to look at the cleanup efforts and the damage that remains from the storm that also injured 5 people. You know, as we reported, most of the damage was found along Holt Road. Cleanup for smaller debris started pretty early. However, for larger repairs, many people had to wait for their insurance to clear before starting the recovery effort. But now that that has all been worked out, it's time for a major cleanup effort by the community. And today, people worked on some of the buildings there, and we're told tomorrow the community is using the weekend to come together to get, well, even more work done.
We're at the part where we're going to clean up. So we actually have a cleanup day tomorrow, and we've got volunteers coming out, and we've got some dumpsters that are here. We've already started working on cleaning fence rows and things like that, but there's a lot to do after a storm.
You know, if you're interested in lending a hand to tomorrow's effort, we're told you should show up along Holt Road starting tomorrow at 8 a.m. More information tonight as questions swirl around the Blount County school system. The Department of Children's Services confirming to 6 News it has opened an investigation into a Heritage High School teacher who is accused of inappropriate contact. Now, Jed West is the principal of Heritage High School. He is now saying that he was not aware of past allegations of unprofessional conduct when the special education teacher was transferred to Heritage back in 2020. West writing, quote, as a school leader, it is deeply troubling to learn that such information was not disclosed at the time. I am grateful for the transparency and decisive leadership that Director Ridge has brought to this issue. At Heritage High School, we remain focused on fostering a safe, supportive environment where all students can learn and thrive, end quote. Now, Blount County Director of Schools Justin Ridge is seeking the teacher's dismissal, saying he will not tolerate behavior that endangers students. We should note the teacher was placed on leave in May and no criminal charges have been filed at this time. Big response tonight from a local sheriff after questions over an inmate's death. Monroe County Sheriff taking disciplinary action against some of his jailers in response. You know, we told you yesterday about the man who died, Elijah Isbell, arrested back in February on a charge of disorderly conduct after a report about a man appearing to be unable to drive. Monroe County Sheriff Tommy Jones telling us now that after the release of the jail video, he has been asked if he condones the behavior of the corrections deputies in that video. Jones says his answer is unequivocal, no. He says, quote, no, I do not, and goes on to say, quote, the conduct I witnessed does not align with the standards I uphold. Now, the sheriff admits that Isbell was put into a restraint chair because the jail's padded room was under repair and not available. In his statement today, Jones repeats what we reported yesterday, that an autopsy showed Isbell died from natural causes. Sheriff Jones says that in the wake of an internal investigation, one corporal at the jail was fired. 2 deputies were resigned before they could be fired, and another deputy and 2 sergeants were suspended without pay. He goes on to say, quote, I hope that my decisions demonstrate to his loved ones and the residents of Monroe County that I take my duty seriously and hold my deputies accountable for their actions. A big personnel move for a Knoxville-based convenience store chain. Weigel's announcing a new CEO for the homegrown convenience store. A release says Doug Yalberry has been promoted to the role. Yalberry has worked for Weigel since 2008, starting as the company's director of operations. Meanwhile, we're told Bill Weigel will remain as chairman of the Weigel's board, retaining an active role in the direction of the company. Wrapping up our Big 7 at 7 list for you tonight. So much at stake this weekend. A trip to Omaha on the line for Vol baseball as they are traveling to Fayetteville to take on Arkansas in the Super Regionals. Now, the team hit the road today. We were there as they left campus. You know, this weekend's best of 3 series is among the most anticipated matchups of the Supers because really of the history these two programs. You know, the Vols and the Razorbacks have the 2 highest win totals in college baseball over the past 5 years. Even just this year, the Hogs took 2 out of 3 against Tennessee to close out the regular season. Take it a step further, we have to discuss the ties between the 2 head coaches. Vols skipper Tony Vitello worked as an assistant under Arkansas head coach Dave Van Horn for 4 seasons at Arkansas. Van Horn has since remained a mentor for Vitello throughout his head coaching career. When Vitello won his first national championship last season, he received a congratulatory phone call from his old boss.
From my side, it got kind of emotional, but he was very generous with some of his compliments and was appreciative of some things, and I was too. I learned a lot from Coach Van Horn. There's some things that I learned there that I would have never known or never would have experienced without his first believing in me and then help.
Vol series with the Razorbacks starts tomorrow at 5 p.m. Game 2 will be Sunday at 3. Both of those games will be broadcast on ESPN. Now, if they need a Game 3, that will be Monday, but the time and network will be announced later. All right, new developments tonight in the case of a man facing charges in connection to the burning deaths of 3 people in Blount County. An indictment filed earlier this week against Johnny Ray Wilburn states that he is facing multiple charges, including several counts of first-degree murder, aggravated kidnapping, aggravated abuse of an elderly person, and abuse of a corpse, among other charges. As we reported, Wilburn was charged with 3 counts of criminal homicide after being accused in the deaths of Delmar Farley, Kaz Farley, and Norma Farley. Their bodies were recovered from a home fire allegedly set by Wilburn. This week's indictment also accuses Wilburn of abusing and murdering the 3 before the fire. Of course, we will continue to keep you updated on air and online as this case makes its way through the court system.